Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Mi channel. Mihawk is the greatest swordsman alive, the most powerful and technically skilled, but he is not the greatest swordsman in history. There is a swordsman even stronger than him, one who will meet Zoro and possibly pass on his techniques to him, and today you will learn all about it. I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit, so just comment which fruit you want. Guys, it's still possible to argue that Mihawk, despite being the most renowned swordsman of his era, might not be the most powerful in One Piece history. That title, it seems, belongs to Shimotsuki Ryuma, the legendary god of the blade. Ryuma was not just a skilled swordsman, he was a symbol of honor, protection, and invincibility in an era when Wano was known as the land of gold. His fame transcended generations, to the point where his name and legacy are still revered centuries after his time. Ryuma was a true pioneer among swordsmen. His legendary feat of defeating a flying dragon with his sword was such an incredible achievement that it solidified him as a national hero and a global legend. More than that, his swordsmanship surpassed common understanding. He could effortlessly cut through materials like copper, and his philosophy, rooted in protecting others and acting with justice, made him the ideal symbol of samurai virtue. Interestingly, Ryuma and Zoro share more than just the same sword for a brief period. Oda's revelation of Zoro's genealogy suggests that Zoro is a direct descendant of Ryuma, linking them in a way that transcends time. This blood connection might explain why Zoro was so well received in Wano, and more specifically by Gyukimaru, the guardian of Shusui. This detail is crucial because it shows that Zoro not only carries Ryuma's sword, but may also be a natural successor to his will and legacy. I believe Zoro's journey may lead him to explore his connection to Ryuma further, especially after the events in Wano. Zoro has already shown great respect for the legendary samurai, particularly after his battle in Thriller Bark, where he faced Ryuma's reanimated corpse. In that encounter, Zoro not only earned the Shusui sword, but also gained the recognition of Ryuma's spirit, a gesture that was more symbolic than physical. It was as if Ryuma, even in his zombie form, acknowledged Zoro's potential to carry his legacy forward. Based on this, it's possible that at some future point, Zoro could delve deeper into Ryuma's history and the fighting style he mastered. Ryuma was known for blending Kenjutsu and Batojutsu techniques, styles requiring extraordinary precision and speed. Zoro, on the other hand, has already demonstrated his versatility as a swordsman, adapting and incorporating new styles into his repertoire, as seen with his haki-based techniques and, more recently, his mastery of Enma, one of Odin's swords. Learning Ryuma's techniques would be a natural step for him, further solidifying his position as the future strongest swordsman in the world. Another aspect that connects Zoro to Ryuma is the philosophy of the warrior's soul. Ryuma believed that the true value of a battle lay not in the fame achieved, but in what was protected. This belief aligns deeply with Zoro's values. From the beginning of his journey, Zoro has always been willing to sacrifice everything for his friends and ideals. A clear example of this was his sacrifice in Thriller Bark, where he took on all of Luffy's pain and suffering without hesitation. This mentality embodies what Ryuma believed in, showing that Zoro not only follows Ryuma's path, but also carries his values in his heart. If we consider Oda's words about Ryuma and monsters, the one shot that preceded One Piece, it's evident that Ryuma was more than just a skilled swordsman. He was someone who carried a sense of justice so strong that his mere presence inspired those around him. In a story where swords and combat skills are central, Ryuma was the first to show that a swordsman is defined not just by his blade, but by what he fights to protect. This lesson is something Zoro already understands, but deepening this connection would make Zoro an even more worthy successor to Ryuma. Now, when we think of Mihawk, the point is not to diminish his skills or titles. He is undoubtedly the strongest swordsman of the current era, but Ryuma operated in a completely different league. He didn't need titles granted by institutions like the world government or recognition from other pirates. His strength, his legend, and his impact were enough to place him on a divine pedestal. Mihawk may be the best in the world, but Ryuma was the god of the blade. There's a colossal difference in that. By following in Ryuma's footsteps, Zoro would not just be training to surpass Mihawk. He would be carrying a legacy that transcends eras and cultures. It's possible that by exploring more about Ryuma and his connection to Wano, Zoro could uncover even deeper secrets about the true essence of swordsmanship and what it means to be a true swordsman. Considering how One Piece treats the passing of wills and legacies, it's almost certain that Zoro will play a crucial role in reviving and honoring Ryuma's spirit in the future. The revelation that Zoro is Ryuma's descendant through Shimotsuki Uchimaru isn't just a genealogical curiosity. It serves as a reminder that the blood of heroes runs through Zoro's veins, further reinforcing his connection to the legendary swordsman. I believe this connection will be explored in future arcs, especially if Oda decides to delve deeper into Wano's story or the mysteries surrounding the Shimotsuki clan outside Wano. Perhaps Zoro will find ancient records in Elbaf. After all, it's possible Ryuma passed through there, or even meet people who still preserve Ryuma's techniques and philosophy. Or maybe Zoro will face a challenge that can only be overcome by mastering the legendary techniques of the God of the Blade. This would not only solidify Zoro as Ryuma's rightful successor, but also prepare him for even greater challenges in the New World, including a potential final showdown with Mihawk. I believe Zoro's greatest challenge in defeating Mihawk goes far beyond strength, technique, or even determination. To surpass the man who holds the title of the world's strongest swordsman, Zoro will need to do something few have ever attempted. Transcend the very limits of everything he knows and become something entirely new. And perhaps learning Ryuma's style, the God of the Blade, is the only path to achieve that. From his first encounter with Mihawk, Zoro not only accepted his inferiority, but also saw in that man the pinnacle of everything he wanted to become. He trained tirelessly under Mihawk's guidance during the 2-year time skip, absorbing as much as he could from Mihawk's techniques. However, at the same time, this created a subtle barrier. By improving based on Mihawk's techniques, Zoro shaped his style around a swordsman who, despite being unparalleled, has his own limits and vision of swordsmanship. To defeat Mihawk, Zoro needs something that goes beyond Mihawk's direct influence. He needs a style that is unique, one that not only surpasses Mihawk technically, but also philosophically. Ryuma's style might be exactly that. It's not just a set of movements or specific abilities. Ryuma's style was an extension of his warrior's soul, something that Zoro, as skilled as he is, has yet to fully master. During his journey, Zoro has shown a natural affinity for understanding the soul of swords, as evidenced by his use of Enma, but Ryuma went far beyond that. He believed that the sword and the swordsman were one, and his techniques were an expression of that belief. This is not something that can be learned through physical training alone. It's a spiritual connection, a complete fusion between the swordsman's will and his blade. Zoro has the potential to achieve this, but he hasn't reached that point yet. Mihawk's influence, while crucial to his growth, still partially ties him to a structure that isn't entirely his own. Ryuma, on the other hand, represents a swordsmanship style that transcends eras one, that focuses not on glory or titles, but on what the sword can protect. By learning this style, Zoro could break free from the limitations he has unconsciously imposed on himself by following Mihawk's footsteps. Furthermore, Ryuma's style encompasses elements beyond mere combat. It carries a philosophy that transforms battle into a manifestation of purpose and justice. Mihawk is a solitary swordsman, viewing combat as a way to measure strength and skill. Ryuma, however, saw battle as a means to protect and serve something greater than himself. This difference, though subtle, is fundamental. To defeat Mihawk, Zoro doesn't just need to be stronger. He needs a deeper reason to fight, one that transcends the simple pursuit of power. By learning Ryuma's style, Zoro wouldn't just be improving his skills, he'd be absorbing a part of Wano's soul, something beyond any technique Mihawk could teach. And that's exactly what he needs to triumph. Mihawk is an unparalleled master of his craft, the epitome of technical perfection as a swordsman. But Zoro, by integrating Ryuma's style, could become something more, a swordsman whose strength arises not only from skill, but also from his connection to the very essence of swordsmanship. One of Zoro's greatest challenges will be surpassing what he learned from Mihawk without entirely rejecting what he gained. After all, Mihawk's training laid the foundation for the swordsman Zoro is today. But Ryuma represents an opportunity to redefine what it means for Zoro to be a swordsman. By learning Ryuma's style, Zoro could merge the best of both worlds. Mihawk's refined technique with Ryuma's philosophy of protection and purpose. This balance would be something entirely unique, something Mihawk has never faced before. I believe Zoro has everything it takes to achieve this, but it will be a grueling path. He will need to shed any reliance on the techniques he learned from Mihawk and fully embrace his connection to Ryuma and Wano. This means not just mastering new techniques, but adopting a new mindset, a new way of viewing the world and his role as a swordsman. When that moment comes, when Zoro finally confronts Mihawk, he won't just be a disciple trying to surpass his master. He will be something far greater, the successor of the God of the Blade, a swordsman whose power and purpose transcend eras. But what do you think about this? That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.